What's up, guys? This one is called You Cannot Reverse Engineer Greatness. There is no formula for screenwriting, but the gurus want you to believe there is, right? You know, how many books have they all written on it? You know, how many seminars, that you got to pay for, courses. It's endless, man. Like reader notes, it's fucking endless, man. And this is one of the reasons why I can see why, writers spend a fuck ton of money on writing, where I believe they don't have to. I believe you spend that $100 or whatever it is to get whatever, screenwriter app or whatever you call it, software, and you're done. But they'll tell you it can be reverse engineered. How to write a script that sells, in 24 hours, or whatever the pitch is. And it's the same pitch as like how to be a millionaire. Because there's no difference to the pitch. It's really selling the same thing, because these people that want the shortcut, they're looking for the shortcut. Is it the shortcut to just have a great script? Is it that? I doubt it. I think they're looking for the shortcut to the money. The money and the fame and this and that. But unfortunately, there's not one that exists. Otherwise, why hasn't everyone, if everybody's such a great writer, then why hasn't everyone who's bought these courses, and followed McKee and Sid Field and Save the Cat and Hero's Journey and all this shit, why have they not, gotten their shit made and sold it for a shit ton of money? Why not? And they tell you, sit down, watch the movie, and write the script and pause it and write it. That will help you. Or, read the script while you watch the movie and dissect it. And there's gurus out there that will chart and graph everything. They'll bring up whiteboards and circle shit and point arrows and draw like loop-de-loops over to this and a fucking rainbow over that to the pot of gold. That's gonna happen once you take the course and you're gonna write this fucking great thing. But it never happens, does it? After you do all this shit, you send that script out and people are like, yeah, it's a pass for me. Why, dude? Or you can study movies to death, man. There's cinephiles. Yeah, they know every single fucking movie. They can talk about it frontwards and backwards. They can talk about every fucking TV show frontwards and backwards. You know who cannot? I can't. And I was told early on that you have to have a vocabulary like that. And the interesting thing to me is I've always been like worried kind of that's going to be brought up, and it is sometimes, brought up like, what are you watching? And I just say, this or that, or they're saying, I watched this, and I say, oh yeah, that's cool. That's a good show. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And then I fucking change the subject and I don't have to talk about it because I don't know that show because I've never seen it, or I don't know that movie because I've never seen it. And then people will say, writers, like, you have to see all this shit or you're not a real writer, man. And then that's funny because it's, how the fuck did I get signed then? Multiple times, how the fuck did I get signed? How the fuck did producers attach to my shit and stuff if that's the rule? I don't think it's a rule. I would say, how I read scripts, by the way, I'm not saying this is the way to do it. I'm just saying this is the way I did it. Is, and people will say and have said about me, but you haven't been produced, so your way doesn't work. But I've made it to the point of being right before produced. That's the highest you can go in the industry without actually being produced and working with A-list people. That's as high as you can fucking go, other than being produced. So, it's gotten me somewhere. It's gotten me relationships with people who I love their movies, and 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 I respect their taste and all this kind of shit. Tastemakers I'm talking about. The way I read scripts is I just read it, and if something bumps me, so to speak, I hate that fucking word, but if something bumps me, then I'll stop and be like, why did that not work? And I'll ask myself that, and I'll put a note to myself. I won't write it down and keep it, and analyze it. I'll just like, okay, that didn't work for me. But if I read the whole thing or I see a whole movie and I'm like, yeah, that worked. I had some problems, whatever. I don't really dwell on it. I'm just like, okay, I just move on, I don't really analyze shit about movies or scripts or none of that shit. I just start it and I end it. And through that process, I soak in shit, sort of subconsciously. So to me, I think it's a waste of time. If what you're doing right now is not working, maybe try this. Maybe stop analyzing this shit so hard. And here's one thing. I got to a place where I wrote spec scripts and shit, and I get signed, and my shit goes out, and people like it and shit. And I'm working with this one producer, A-list. That just tended to be, through my whole journey, who the fuck my reps put my shit in front of, and sometimes it worked, and I was writing this one thing for someone, and I got to a place where I was stuck, and I'm like, fuck, like I need a beat like this, and then I'm like, let me look at my own script and try to reverse engineer, because I thought, like, they liked it, they loved it, they're a big producer, them too, this person, this agent, this, only person I'll name here is CAA and Anonymous on that one. Anonymous was trying to help me put that together, and so I got stuck, dude, and so I tried to rip myself off. I did all that charts and graphs on my own fucking script, did it like the gurus, ripped it all apart, found the thing, reverse engineered back from the beat that I liked, that I wanted to use, and I saw so much shit in there, like reversals and this and that, and this leads to that, and this goes back, and all this, and there was so much shit that I'm like, I can't even rip myself off. It won't work. So I realized that's when I realized what writing is for me. Is like, this isn't about trying to sell something. It isn't about trying to figure out the formula. There is no fucking formula. So I said, I just have to write. I have to give that up, what that script was. Fuck that script. Now I'm on a new script. I just have to jump off the fucking cliff with, fucking my into the blackness, and just see what the fuck happens. And now I'm writing for real. Now there's a pressure of like producers and shit, and I gotta fucking turn something in, and I just gotta make it up. And there's no more training wheels, And so since that point, I don't look for training wheels. And that's the thing there, man. Like, if you're asking, what should I write? You're really asking, how do I plagiarize, and how do I make money? How do I sell something? How do I get that lottery ticket? And that is the worst way to try to make that money. You want that $1 million deal or whatever. That is the fucking worst way, man. The big deals and shit, they're not fucking retreads, man. And I'm not talking about the franchise shit. I'm talking about like Gone Girl. It wasn't a retread. That was an original. So that's all I'm saying. Like you'll get to a point where you try to reach back in your bag of tricks and realize, I gotta make up new tricks now. Every single script is a new script, and I gotta make up a new bag of tricks for that script because it's different. So that's just a thought I had on trying to rip off other people, or even trying to rip off yourself. See if you can rip yourself off. I bet you can't. I bet it's not going to be as good as the first script that everybody loved. That's it. Later.